the Glen, presented by Williams Toyota of Elmira. Live from Watkins Glen International, here are your hosts, Renata Steele and Karina Norman.
Hello and welcome everyone to Thunder at the Glen, brought to you by Williams Toyota of Elmira. I'm Renata Steele, joined by my colleague Karina Norman.
What's going on, Renata, and what's going on, Twin Tiers? Thank you so much for joining us today for our special. We're going to be giving you all of the latest details on the Go Bowling race tomorrow, and of course the Xfinity race is going on right now. Actually, currently under a red caution, a very large wreck between corners 5 and 6. Nobody injured though. Everybody walked away on their own 2 feet. But earlier, before the race started, the Cup Series qualified, and everyone knows Shane Van Gisbergen absolutely dominates the field when it comes to road racing. A clear front runner for the weekend, and it showed in qualifying. But Ryan Blaney unexpectedly denies SVG of clinching his 4th consecutive road course pole position. Blaney pushed the number 12 Team Penske forward to 122.568 miles per hour on the circuit, securing the 2nd pole of the season. Sharing the front row with Blaney will be Kiwi SVG. Chase Briscoe is starting 3rd, and last year's pole winner Ross Chastain and Kyle Busch round out the top 5.
You just described yourself as average on road courses, so what does it mean to you to win the pole today?
Yeah, it means a lot. It's it's somewhere that I don't find myself very strong, but we work really hard on how do we get better at these places from my side to, how can we get the car working the best that it can. And, this last year here was a brutal weekend for us. Saturday practice was awful. I think we were like 30th in practice, qualified 32nd, got caught up in lap 1 wreck because we were in the back, and to really work hard on, all right, how do we do our homework and get better when we come back here? And for it to pay off today, that's a cool feat. It's a cool accomplishment for everybody on our group. And job 1 is done. I try to take these road courses one day at a time. Little wins for me at these places is good. So now we just got to figure out how to put 90 laps together tomorrow.
Absolutely, and like you said, ovals are your thing, and just how important was it for you to be able to start at the top?
Well, it definitely makes it a lot nicer at these road courses, just track position, and you never know what things can happen, on these restarts. It gets tight and things like that. So, it's nice to be able to have that and good pit stall and all that stuff. So it's just all a nice start to your weekend, and you never know how it's going to end up, but you can just do one thing at a time, and we did our job today.
So coming into the race, you obviously probably have some type of strategy, but after this happens and where you are now, what changes and how quickly does your team adapt to it?
Through the week we talk about different strategies. We kind of have plans A all the way to Z, and you just kind of adjust your thoughts from how Saturday goes and where you qualify, and then tonight, Jonathan and I can sit down and talk about it, and what's he thinking, what am I thinking, and kind of break down the stages and the laps, and then go from there. So that's why you plan for all this stuff for anything that can happen, and we'll have to come up with a good game plan tonight and see what happens.
All right, and now let's take a look at the playoff picture heading into the final weeks of the regular series. 13 drivers have already won their way into the playoff picture out of 16 slots. Right now, Tyler Reddick, Alex Bowman, and Chris Buescher round out the top 16, but there are several on the bubble who could punch their way in with a win. Ryan Preece and Kyle Busch round out the 17th and 18th positions based on points. Now, including Sunday's Go Bowling at the Glen, there are 3 series races in the regular season to determine the final playoff field. Now, Karina, one of those drivers that is already in the playoffs, he doesn't have anything to worry about, is Joey Logano. He is the 2024 Cup Series champion, and he's won here at WGI back in 2015. That was his last win on the road course here. I got a chance to talk with him early this morning about what he's looking forward to this weekend. Here with Team Penske's Joey Logano. And Joey, big weekend coming up here. You've had success here before. You won here at WGI in 2015. You actually swept the weekend last year, or that time. How are you feeling going into tomorrow's Go Bowling race?
Well, we'll have to wait and see. We haven't even started to go out there and practice yet. So as you get out there, you get a little bit better idea. But this is one of my favorite road courses to come to for a lot of reasons, right? The racing's really great here, but the fans are awesome here, right? You look at the camping in the infield is bonkers. Everyone's having a good old time, having a great time. So it's cool to be a part of that. From a view. From far. I can't quite go have as much fun as they're having there, but it is neat to see the environment and everyone's having a good time.
And what are some of the things that you like about this course in particular? I know it's a tough road course, a lot of challenging components to it. Yeah,
it definitely is. It's a track that, you have some really fast sections of the racetrack where it's, turns 3, 2, 3, up through the S's there. That's pretty fast. And then you got the bus stop where you're on the brakes, there's big bumps, the car's bouncing around all over the place, and then you got some good flowing corners through 10 and 11 onto the start-finish line. So you kind of got a little bit of everything here, but mainly you're carrying a lot of speed, which is put on good racing. I think that's the thing that matters. Like whether it's fast or not, I don't think it really matters much. It's just the fact that it puts on good racing.
And you are fortunate, you've already secured your place in the playoffs for this season. Does that give you a little bit of, just confidence going into the race on Sunday?
Yeah, it gives you a little bit of a little relief, right? And you got to also be aware of what other, teams are trying to accomplish here, right? Where there's some teams that are going out there all or nothing to win. Some are racing for, regular season points to try to, get some more playoff points that way. Some are just racing the race, so we're trying to win for the heck of it. So it's interesting to keep all that in mind while the strategy of the race is playing out. It's a time of year where everyone's kind of got to level up, right? When the playoffs start, you kind of got to find that extra gear, and I'm sure we'll be able to find it again.
All right, well, Joey, best of luck to you tomorrow.
All right, thank you.
All right, and Karina and Logano's team Penske, they have been having a great season among all of the drivers there. It hasn't been exactly the same for Richard Childress Racing. A couple of weeks ago, I went to New York City and I sat down with drivers Kyle Busch and Austin Dillon. Now, Busch, he's actually won here at the Glen twice, 2008 and again in 2017. So I talked to him about coming back to the Glen, hopefully get back in the win column, and also Austin Dillon about the challenges of WGI.
And so Watkins Glen being a road course race, it's a high-speed road course. Some of us call it like a super speedway of the road courses, but I've had some good success there. It's one of my favorite road courses to go to each year. So I enjoy the back straightaway and having to go through the bus stop real fast and then get into the carousel. So there's some really cool attributes to the track that make it fun as a driver. And then also just the fans. They're amazing in that area. They really come out and support that racetrack, and they love the camping. They're there all weekend long, so definitely no open spaces, that's for sure. So I'm looking forward to my Zone Chevrolet up there and going to Victory Lane. We want to win that one.
It's a tough road course, and I think since they paved it and made it really fast, and it's a little difficult to pass there, but the speed that you carry into the bus stop, that could be as an intense corner as we go to all year, and the S is going up the hill, and it's so tight through there, and you're going at such a fast clip that anything can happen, gets clogged up pretty easy. So Watkins Glen's a challenging track, physical too, because of all the pace.
And Renata, all the action kicked off last night with the ARCA Menards Series, and following after that, the Truck Series made its return to the Glen for the first time since 2021. Fans so excited about it because the year before that it was 2000. So, the trucks back here are super beloved. So let's take let's recap the night from yesterday. Current championship leader Corey Heim took the checkered flag. The race going into triple overtime. It was looking like Cup Series regular Christopher Bell was going to pull off the victory, but the multiple restarts forced the 52 to head into pit road for fuel. And Bell wasn't the only Cup Series driver racing last night. Chris Buescher made his Truck Series debut. Ross Chastain and Kyle Busch also took on the trucks, but Heim took the lead on the restart from the first overtime and held on to that position until the very end. This was his 6th win and 2nd road course victory this season.
All right, well, Karina, we are still under that red flag warning here with the Mission 200, but when we come back on Thunder at the Glen, we'll have a look at your weather forecast if you're heading up here to go bowling at the Glen tomorrow, and hear from some fans about their favorite drivers of all time.
You're watching Thunder at the Glen, presented by Williams Toyota of Elmira. We'll return in a moment. Welcome back to Thunder at the Glen, presented by Williams Toyota of Elmira, live from Watkins Glen International.
Yeah, we've really been so fortunate weather-wise across the Twin Tiers and here up at Watkins Glen. Beautiful start to the weekend, obviously. Lots of sunshine today. Perfect for racing. Low humidity and not a cloud in the sky. And let's take a look at the radar map. Thankfully, not much to track locally. There is a system way back to the north and west over the Central Great Lakes region. That's not going to arrive anytime soon. So if we take a closer look at our region, again, no precipitation nearby. And I'm happy to report that that's not going to change here anytime soon. Of course, we could use the rainfall, but we don't want it race weekend. Let's take a look at our hourly rainfall chances for tomorrow. And it doesn't get much lower than this. It's practically 0 chances throughout the day tomorrow for any kind of precipitation. So what I recommend, if you're coming up to the track tomorrow, definitely wear the sunscreen and have plenty of water, ways to keep yourself hydrated. Now for the race fans as well, as far as the winds go, that's not going to be much of a factor either. Of course, even up in the higher elevations here up on the hill, sometimes we get some very gusty winds. We're not expecting gusts over 10 miles an hour for tomorrow. So we have the sunshine, we had the low humidity, the calm wind. Going to be on the hot side though. Our planner for tomorrow does show that we start off the day with some patchy fog in the morning and temperatures in the 50s and 60s, but they quickly rise as we progress through the morning, and by race time, yeah, we're talking temperatures well into the 80s. Some spots could actually hit 90 degrees for high temperature tomorrow, and it could be the start of an extended heat wave for us here in the Twin Tiers. But again, for race fans tomorrow and for anyone else watching across our viewing area, tomorrow looking very nice, lots of sunshine, and temperatures closing in on 90 degrees.
Well, Renato, with thousands of fans taking it all in this weekend at the Glen, everyone has their own opinion on who their favorite driver of all time is.
That's absolutely right. And our own Connor Freidoff talked with fans in the infield about who they think is the greatest driver of all time or just their current favorite right now.
For the tens of thousands of fans in attendance this weekend, everyone's going to have their own opinion on who they think the best driver is and who their favorite driver is. But everyone's story on how they got that favorite driver is just a little different every time. We're asking folks what their favorite driver is and why here at Watkins Glen. Fans here are sporting hats, shirts, and more to support their favorite drivers this weekend. But if you ask someone about their all-time favorite, you'll hear names from every era.
Joey Logano.
My favorite driver is Jeff Gordon.
I always watched Paul Menard.
A handful of drivers have been racing in the Cup Series for over a decade, with fans that have been there for the whole ride.
When I first met him here, I shook his hand and then after that I says, I think I'll pick this guy. He was real young then, so it worked out nice.
The Mahar family have been watching races for over 30 years, and each one of them has found their own favorite over that time.
My favorite driver is Mark Martin. One of the races we came here, Mark was very, very friendly to a lot of fans and stuff. Came down through and signed autographs for people, and he was very personable. So that's kind of why I like him so much.
I'm a Rusty Wallace fan, but my favorite driver would have to be Kevin Harvick.
I just love the colors of his car, and so I picked him as my driver. Short and sweet, but I enjoy coming here.
Ernie Irvin was driving the Eastman Kodak car, and the wife and I worked for Kodak. Basically, that was kind of a lead-in for liking NASCAR and being around it.
Whether you're a fan of a legend or a newcomer, thousands of memories are going to be made here this weekend at Watkins Glen International. For Thunder at the Glen, I'm Connor Freidoff.
You're watching Thunder at the Glen, presented by Williams Toyota of Elmira. We'll return in a moment.
All right, and welcome back to Thunder at the Glen, brought to you by Williams Toyota of Elmira. And Karina, WGI wouldn't be what it is without the fans who come and camp here all weekend long. And it's not just pulling in the RV or setting up a tent. Some of them go all out.
Absolutely, and our very own WENY's Lindsay Madison spoke with one group of campers about their extra addition to the site that helps them see the race from above.
Some people just take things up a notch when it comes to camping at WGI for race weekend. For starters, I'm overlooking the part of the track called the bus stop on an actual bus.
I actually started in '94. We got tickets and sat in the grandstand. Just got burnt out up there, so me and my buddy just started to walk around the track and didn't realize how big it was. Like, I thought you could see the whole track, you know, from the bleacher, but you really can't. So I went ahead and we walked around, and I fell in love with this back straight. So the first thing I did when I got home, I ended up going and I said, we got to get a bus.
In 1995, Mark bought his bus and transformed it.
Yeah, standing at the fence is kind of not as thrill-seeking as we wanted, so we said, you know what, let's build a deck, put it on top of the bus, and eventually this site opened up, and we ended up trackside, which is like awesome. I mean, the view is just spectacular, so without a doubt, I think that's it.
Family and friends climb the narrow, wobbly staircase to watch cars and trucks zip by. Among those watching the race from above is Patricia Mahoney, aka Mumsy. At 91 years young, this is her 5th time coming to the Glen.
I love it. I think it's the greatest thing, and these people are absolutely wonderful. They take good care of me, and I'm just having a ball.
For those who haven't seen it in person, the bus stop also doubles as a cafe for the group. It comes complete with a smoker, deep fryer, and an oven.
We just enjoy food, we enjoy drink, and the camaraderie, and the friends that come with us here. We all love racing, and you know, it's in our blood. And you can't find a better venue than Watkins Glen, because you know what? It is by far one of the best racing venues I've ever been to.
For Thunder at the Glen, I'm Lindsay Madison.
And sticking with the same people that make the Glen go round, one of the things we've been hearing from drivers that makes Watkins Glen so unique is those fans.
And our own Scott Brubaker wandered around today and talked to fans who are locals and come back every year, and people who travel from out of town.
From free chips to photo ops and cars and even a bowling alley right on site, there's lots to do here at the track. Now with all these different options, Watkins Glen International takes the NASCAR fan experience to a whole new level.
Race weekend at Watkins Glen International offers a lot more than just cars for race fans. It could be for the free food.
Got a lot of chips.
Yes.
Chips and potatoes.
Or for the on-site bowling alley.
Bowling too didn't do so well there, but that was fun too. A lot of things for fans to interchange with though.
Some NASCAR fans enjoy spending their time in the midway for all sorts of activities.
What's been your favorite part so far?
For me, it's everything.
Yeah. Everything. I mean, it's a good place to come, and it's fun to be here.
Fans walking around the midway took selfies with giant NASCAR icons and lined up to get merch supporting their favorite drivers. For many, they get to experience things at the Glen for the first time.
We watched the truck race last night. That was my first time doing that, and I really enjoyed it. And then we watched qualifying today.
Fans say that no matter what they get to do during the day, they're just excited to spend time at the track, adding that there's a lot for them to do, even getting to meet some drivers.
We have track passes, so I'm really looking forward to that, signing the track.
Yeah, meeting the drivers and stuff.
Fans come from all over to enjoy the weekend. Some travel from nearby for the day, like John from Elmira.
I just love doing this. It's fun, friends and family, food, drink. So here we are.
And others drive for hours, like Stephanie and Nate from York, PA.
The travel's really fun to come up here and then just to experience everything that they have to offer here. It's different than Pennsylvania.
It's worth the drive, every minute of it.
If you happen to find yourself at the Midway this weekend, you could go bowling before the big Go Bowling race on Sunday. Reporting in Watkins Glen, I'm Scott Brubaker, WENY News.
Well, Renata, we heard some engines start back up, so we're thinking the Xfinity race is going to be starting back up any second now. They have less than 10 laps to go.
All right, well, we got to take a quick break, so we'll be right back. You're watching Thunder at the Glen, brought to you by Williams Toyota of Elmira.
You're watching Thunder at the Glen, presented by Williams Toyota of Elmira. We'll return in a moment. Welcome back to Thunder at the Glen, presented by Williams Toyota of Elmira. Live from Watkins Glen International.
Well, welcome back to the Glen, everyone. Well, Renata, there's been a lot of interesting paint schemes on the cars over the years, but this year there is one in particular that is super special to our area, and that, of course, is the number 44 New York Racing Team. They have actually partnered up with Syracuse Football NIL and Syracuse University to get that Syracuse orange car.
Fittingly enough, the New York Racing Team's car number is 44. The number having so many ties to the Syracuse community and also our community right here in the Twin Tiers. That's because SU football legend and Elmira native Ernie Davis proudly wore it.
I didn't really realize how big the 44 was until I actually walked on Syracuse campus and went into the stores and bought my son a little jersey, and the first thing I saw was 44, so I was like, it really hit me how big 44 was for Syracuse, so I'm loving it.
Team owner John Cohen chose the number 44 years ago because of Davis and other Black influential entrepreneurs. A former member of the Grambling State football team under legendary head coach Eddie Robinson, Cohen knows that seeing yourself reflected makes a difference.
Representation matters just like Ernie Davis mattered to me, and I hope I matter to somebody to the next age group that's coming behind me. So the 44 means a lot to me, and I want to keep it out there and let people know about Ernie Davis.
And for driver J.J. Yaley, it's about more than just turning laps. It's about carrying a number and a story that stands for something bigger than racing.
Just the support that they have, and then being able to showcase them here at Watkins Glen and the national stage in NASCAR is really cool. So glad to be a part of it.
So while it's a race on the track, the 44's game plan this weekend might just have a little gridiron flair.
What's it going to take?
A lot of footwork. Football footwork.
All right, we'll be right back after the break.
You are watching Thunder at the Glen, brought to you by Williams Toyota of Elmira. Well, Renata, welcome back, everybody. The race looks like it's about to start, but we're still seeing that caution car going around with the rest of the cars. That wreck looked pretty bad, happening on a straightaway between turns 5 and 6. Not a lot of room for too many cars to go double wide, but I think some bad stuff happened in there. But
yeah, unfortunately, like you said, no one was hurt, but it has really kind of shut down the track. Gosh, it's been almost an hour.
Yeah, and none of the cars behind, I think they said over 15 cars were in the wreck, so it affected a lot of the field, and the cars behind couldn't even get through since the straightaway is so narrow. So
okay, well, we will have the winner of the Mission 200 Xfinity race. Karina, you'll have that tonight on WENY News at 11. Of course, we've got you covered for Go Bowling at the Glen, the Cup Series race tomorrow happening here at WGI. You can watch it at 3 o'clock on the USA Network. Have a great night, everyone.
You've been watching Thunder at the Glen, presented by Williams Toyota of Elmira, live from Watkins Glen International. Good luck to the competitors in this year's Go Bowling at the Glen. All of us at WENY and Philly Broadcasting, thank you for watching.